What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about 3 players the Detroit Pistons need to avoid on draft night, especially with that fifth pick, But before I do that, let me just remind all of you, hey, tune in, watch with us. We're watching it live, the NBA draft with you. Me and Chris will be there. We would love to watch it with you. So tune in this Thursday, and we'll see you there, hoping for a great turnout and being able to kind of chat with the community on what the Pistons are doing. And when we're watching that live together, here are 3 names that I am hoping. Oh man, I'm hoping the Pistons don't swing on, especially with the fifth pick, because there's things that are just wrong. If they get a pick and one of these players drops later in the first round and they move back in, like that's not the end of the world. But I want to talk to you about 3 guys that I just don't see as a great fit. And as you know, I love going to Tankathon. It's my thing. And we're going to start down at the bottom here. And the first guy is, don't hate me, everybody, it's Johnny Davis. Look, here's the thing. There are things that I like about Davis. I think he has pretty good size. I love the way he plays. I love his defense and the tenacity that he brings on that side of the ball. But there are also things that I don't like. And I said that this is why there are rumors from the beginning, even to now, of Johnny Davis to the Pistons at 5 talk. And I'm just like, oh no. Let's look at some of these stats. We'll go even with the per 36 minutes, right? He's a 79% free throw shooter. That's not bad. That actually gives me some hope for his jump shot, but he shot 30.6%. I was going to say 306, but 30.6% from the 3-point line. We don't need that on our team. That is not what you want next to Cade Cunningham. And I get what you're saying. We want another playmaker. We want another ball handler. Dude averaged 2.2 assists. So here's the argument for why he wasn't a good shooter. The argument is he was constantly being double teamed. He had the other team's best player guarding him. He had all this kind of stuff. Now, he was still scoring at a good clip, averaging almost 20 points a game. But I'm sorry, if you're being double teamed, if the defense is completely focused on you, should you not be averaging more than 2 assists per game? And I don't care if the other players weren't shooting well. Even if they are a horrible, horrendous shooting team, if all the attention is on you and you're the guy who's initiating the offense, oftentimes you should be sitting at least 3.5 to 4 assists per game. Look at Jaden Ivey. Look what he was doing with similar defense being played on him. He's very methodical, Mr. Davis is, about how he gets things done. And I just don't know. He kind of likes to play bully ball in the Big Ten, but I don't know if 196 is big enough to do that in the NBA. He doesn't have a good block rate. He doesn't have a good steal rate. I am really struggling understanding what is so awesome about this guy. In fact, when you look at the advanced stats, his true shooting percentage, his effective field goal percentage, his 3-point rate, everything is in the red, which is below average, and that's not a top 5 pick for me. That's not where my money is. So Johnny Davis is the first guy that I say, no, thank you. I don't want him. The other guy that I really struggle with taking as a top 10 player is Jeremy Sochan. Sorry. I get it. He's young. He played for Baylor this year. He's 6'9", 230, has really good size. And I think what a lot of people are going to compare him to and say, I even saw an article where it says, is he the next Draymond Green? Right? Okay. Let me answer that question for you with one word. No, he's not the next Draymond Green. Look at the assist numbers. He doesn't even average 2 assists a game. Like, come on. Even if it is per 36, it's at 2.5. 1 block, decent steal rate. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad there. Dude's not scoring, taking almost 3 threes a game, shooting under 30%. His free throw percentage is under 60%. Like, I get it. Like, his defense is fantastic, and you're hoping that his offense comes around. Great. That's fantastic. Where does that fit on this team? Like, what is the thought process on what makes this any good? He fouls a lot. He can't shoot. His offense is not good at this point at all. So this idea of, is he the next Draymond Green? Could he be a good defensive player in this league? Absolutely. But you have to be able to do something on the offensive end to make you good enough to stick around. Draymond Green is a phenomenal defender, but on the offensive end, he's a ball mover. He keeps the ball moving. He does things that you would not expect him to do, and that's what makes Draymond a really great NBA player. No, he can't shoot. He never will be able to shoot, and he never has been able to shoot. But he has enough on offense to keep him in the rotation at a really, really good level. And I just don't see that coming out of Jeremy. Now, that could happen, but also let's remember where Draymond Green was drafted. Draymond Green was drafted in the second round. Nobody thought, like nobody just assumed that he would create and become what he is. I think with Jeremy Sochan, like we see it and we're like, oh no, he'll be there. I get it. He's only 19 years old. There's a lot of people that are 19 years old in this draft or 20 years old that are putting up much better offensive numbers. Sure, he could be developing later, but we'll see. All right, the third player that I want to see the Detroit Pistons avoid is none other than AJ Griffin. And this is a guy that early on, I think a lot of people were like, oh, this could be the guy. And he's really young. Like he might be the youngest player. Especially in the top 10, 15 here. He might be the youngest guy. He has good size. He's a big dude. He's 222 pounds. He's 6'6". We talk about like the athleticism that was there. He's had some injuries. And I watched probably 4 or 5 Duke games this year. And what I saw was a guy who struggled getting his shot off, struggled even jumping to the height where it's like, yeah, he's going to be good. I understand that he was hurt. Like, and I get that he's coming back and you're hoping that he's going to come back fully, but he has not yet. And what he's putting on tape is not fantastic. What is fantastic is his shooting. I mean, it is really good. But at this point, he's doing nothing else. He's not scoring at a high rate. He's not rebounding at a high rate. He's not playing defense at an extremely high rate in blocks or steals. He just right now is shooting the ball really, really well. And I think a good comparison for him might be somebody like Wesley Matthews. And so you're thinking to yourself, like, well, that's not a bad comparison. Yeah, but I'm talking Wesley Matthews after he got hurt. And that's a rotational player, borderline starter. He hasn't been fantastic after that. So I don't want to be there with the number 5 pick. Now, if his athleticism comes back, I'm gonna eat some crow on this one because he's really young and he's a phenomenal shooter. In fact, when I went here, I didn't realize dude was shooting almost 45% from 3. Now I'm almost rethinking it. But he's another one of those guys. Like I said, I don't want him at 5. If he drops and we take him somewhere in the, how do I want to put it? In the 10 to 15 range, I'm fine with it because you're taking a guy who has a great jump shot and his athleticism probably will only get better after the injury. But taking him at number 5, absolutely not. No, thank you. I'm out on that. So here's kind of my thoughts. Those are the 3 players that I don't love for the Pistons, especially at pick number 8. Or number 8. What am I talking about? Number 5. Let me know what you think. Are you in on one of these guys? Do you have something where you're just like, no, Jeremy Sochan, like nobody's seeing it, but this is why he's going to be fantastic. I know we got our Johnny Davis fans out there. There are some people that just love that guy. Numbers don't back it up at all. When I watched him play in college, I was like, this dude could be a problem even in the NBA. But the things that you need to do well in the NBA, they didn't translate for me. So I was struggling with it. And then Griffin just kind of scares me with the injury that he's coming back from and just the lack of, what's the word I want to call? Production outside of just being a great shooter. I think you can find great shooters in the draft, but you don't have to spend a top 5 pick on them. So anyways, let me know what you think. Hit that subscribe button below if you like the channel. If you want more content, Pistons, Lions, we're here for it. We would love to do it. And we'll see you on the next one. See you at the draft.